Pro Sock Joe, Pro Sock Joe here, and this is my new blog, and it's going to be called "Giving You the Game Without Giving You the Game." It's going to be 3 minutes of grudge talk, and we're going to talk about the grudge game. We're going to break it down. We're going to tell you everything, but we ain't going to tell you everything, if you know what I mean. See, the problem is far too many people out there trying to drag race. They don't know what grudge racing is. I'm going to break it down to you. I'm going to tell you all about it. My many years of being in the game qualify me to do this. So if you'll listen up, listen tight, you'll get it right. Okay. So name of this show is Smell Them Funky Ribs. You know, you got the shirt, Smell Them Funky Ribs. That's one of my favorite sayings. Good God. That's when the guys are burnt out. What that means is overall is that smell that whole flavor of the whole situation brewing. Grudge racing is drag racing with a twist. Most of you didn't know that. Drag racing with a twist. Okay, I'm gonna be live for about 10 minutes. We're gonna cover one subject, and you need to ask Mississippi in the house. Good deal, Don Tavius. You can ask questions. You can talk to me. Give me the first 3 minutes to make my point. Then we can discuss it after if anybody's out there wanting to do so. So grudge racing is drag racing with a twist. The twist is money, math, and mystery, right? In drag racing, you are more or less protected by your classification of car. If you got a pro mod, all the guys in your class got to be pro mods. If you got a top sportsman, all the guys in your class got to be top sportsmen. If you got a funny car, or you got a whatever it is, all the guys in your class, include no time drag racing, you still got to, everybody got to be in the class. Kobe Hunt, what's up, doctor? Jose Cruz, what's good, Mr. Man? Chicago in the building, good deal. So we're going to be doing this probably once or twice a week now, because I feel like there's far too many guys out there who did not go to grudge school. Grudge school, what I call it, was the pool hall that all the fellas hung out at. All the grudge race fellas hung out at the pool hall. We shot pool, we played cards, we shot dice, we learned how to gamble, okay? We learned how to gamble, we learned the honor of gambling, but more importantly, we learned how to grudge race. We heard the guys talking, we heard them strategizing, we heard what they say to push what I call the fuck it button. We'll talk about the fuck it button down the road someplace. But today, it's just all about money, math, and mystery. Drag racing with a twist. It's grudge racing. And what that means is, well, you got to bet some money, obviously, but the amount of money you bet can determine whether or not you get the race you want. The amount of money you bet. You can't scare the guy. You can't make the guy laugh. Sometimes you got to put pressure on the guy. Sometimes you don't. It just depends. But there's money. There's money. The math. Most important part of grudge racing is doing the math. I know how fast I go. Been to the track, got my numbers, know about what I go. But what it is, I got to look at your car or hear about your car and know how fast you can go, what you're capable of, you know. And there's a lot of things you got to consider when you're doing the math on another car. You got to consider whose car is it? What group does he run with? You know, what is his past history, his past record? You know, what do these guys do for a living? Where are they from? Who's around there? Who's helping them? Who's tuning on the car? Whatever the case might be. So there's a lot that goes into a math to say what a small block Mustang or small block Camaro are not all created equal. Big block Mustang, big block Camaro, not all created equal. But you got to do the math, and the math is figuring out whose it is and what it's capable of, and you got to do that inside your head. You don't get any protection in grudge racing. Money, math, the mystery. Now, this is the best part, the mystery. The mystery is knowing what to say, when to say it, how to say it. The mystery is how you get the equalizer. Because in grudge racing, any two cars can race. But the mystery is getting the fast car to do right by the small car, or getting the slow car, or getting the slow car, giving him something so good that he feels like he can catch the big car. All right. So at the end of the day, that he can compete with the big car. So at the end of the day, that's what it's all about: money, math, and mystery. We're gonna talk about each and every one of those. So that's the breakdown of today. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna come up here each week. I'm gonna give you the first 3 minutes, and then we can go live chat after that. I don't see any questions. I see we got Mississippi in the house, we got Chicago in the house, we got whatever. But guys, got any questions about what this show is going to be about, what the format's going to be, who I am, what my credentials are, or whatever you want? Let's talk about it. Give me a question. Stevie Fast just won $50,000. Look, man, there's a saying in grudge racing: a set of lips can say anything. A set of lips can say anything. Okay. Now, winning $50,000 in the shootout and winning $50,000 in the grudge race are totally different. Totally different. I wasn't there. I can't say 100% what went on, but as far as I know, I've never known Stevie Fast to bet that kind of money on the grudge race. Never known him to. Okay. I've seen them bet 5,000. I've seen them bet 10,000. What's good, Charles Somerville? But I've never seen them bet $50,000 on a one-shot, one-kill grudge race. So you do the math. All right. Racing cars. That's right. All right, guys. This is Q&A. It's Q&A. Gave you 3 minutes. Grudge racing is drag racing with a twist. Drag racing, you're protected by your classification and the rules they set to keep all the cars equal. In grudge racing, you got to use steps. The mystery part, steps, to make the cars equal, to make the slow car be able to compete with the fast car. So you got to have heart on both sides. You got to have heart on both sides. But I just think, do you guys agree that there's no grudge schools anymore? There's no place to hang out where you all go every day, almost every day, and just talk about grudge racing, do guy stuff. I don't think there's many of those spots around anymore. You know, there's a few garages around, a couple of guys hang out, but other than that, I don't think there's a lot of pool halls and clubs and joints like that people go and they hang out to talk about grudge racing. You know, you are right. Pro stock grudge racing is drag racing with a twist. Absolutely. Grudge racing is not the same as drag racing. It's absolutely not. No, not at all. Jose Cruz, you're absolutely right about that. Grudge racing is not the same. Well, it's not the same because a lot of the younger guys that are coming up right now, they didn't learn to do the game. It's like when you work on a farm. Your pops, your grandpops, they give you the game. They pass the knowledge on down to you. And hanging around those clubs like I did growing up, hanging around those clubs every day, seeing the guys, seeing how buttons are pushed, seeing how guys get tricked, seeing how guys get manipulated, seeing how guys reach down into their bag of tricks, seeing how guys get their courage up, seeing how, guys team up, you seeing how guys, there's no more of that these days. There's not a whole lot of that these days. These guys think that drag racing is the same as grudge racing. They think, oh, if you sit like me, any small block on one carburetor with one power adder, one kit, and 28-inch tires, bring them on. That's not grudge racing. It's not grudge racing at all. I'm stepping to you because you got a race car. If it happens to be the same as mine, oh well. That's an easy race. But if it's different than mine, oh well. And these guys talking about quit begging. Ain't no such thing as begging. We negotiating. When you go to the car dealership and you ask the guy, yes, you have to have a good mouthpiece. And that's what it's about. They don't know. They didn't go to school. Anybody can be a drag racer, but not everyone can be a grudge racer. Mr. Sean, you're absolutely right. You are absolutely right about that. Yeah, because you have to learn. It's because there's some tricks to the trade. That's like I said, you work on a farm. If you work a route, your father's a truck driver, your father's a mechanic, your father's a plumber, whatever. You don't just automatically learn how to do the shit because you've seen it done 2 times. You have to spend 10,000 hours. Scientists say you have to spend 10,000 hours doing something in order to become an expert at it. So I don't know about 10,000 hours. I don't know how many weeks or months or years that is. But at the end of the day, that's what's missing today. These guys are not learning how to do grudge racing the right way. And they just think it's drag racing. They just doing no time drag racing. They think a shootout is grudge. They think because when you get in a shootout, they think you can grudge somebody. You can under certain circumstances. You can, but not under most. Not under most. The thing that has to be in place to grudge somebody in a shootout, a no time shootout. First of all, you can never grudge if the clocks are on. You can never grudge if the clocks are on because there is no mystery, there is no math. All right. So without those 3 elements, you cannot grudge race. Without money, math, and mystery, you cannot grudge race. Just because you bet on a drag race doesn't mean it was a grudge race. Just because you bet on a drag race doesn't mean it was a grudge race. The very ideal of grudge racing is about the danger, the risk involved. You racing a guy, you don't know how fast he goes. You don't know what he's got in his car. You don't know how many systems he's got. I mean, sometimes you get this information, yes, you do, but it's right here, money, math, and mystery. You got to have that in order for it to be a grudge race, or else you just drag racing. Bracket racing, they'll give you tell them how fast you go, the other guy tells them how fast you go. The computer does the rest. The computer figures out what spot you need. In grudge racing, you got to figure out how fast the other guy goes in your head, and you got to figure out what spot you need to win based on what time you go. Money, math, and mystery. Money, math, and mystery. But the thing is, like I said, there's no more grudge schools. So we got to get some grudge schools in place. We got to, and some people might take offense to saying, we don't need that shit. But man, look at how many motherfuckers is out here. Look at how many motherfuckers is out here, goddamn, bracket racing every fucking day. Or class racing every fucking day. Anybody, if you hear guys start out, anybody with a small block or a big block or a conventional head or stock suspension or anybody on 28, anybody, that's fucking class racing all day long. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck who it is, what his name is, where he from. All right? Grudge racing is, this is my car, what's your car? That's grudge racing, All right, guys, we're looking to do a Q&A. We got 2 minutes left, 1 minute and 30 seconds. Yes, this is how I learned years ago. No doubt, Jose Cruz. That's how I learned too, man. And that's what's missing today. And that's what these Q&As are going to be about. We're going to try to teach these young guys, right, not to be so fucking scary, not to be so safe, trying to do all this sit like me bullshit, because that's what it is, straight bullshit. I don't give a fuck who you are. I love you all. I'm trying to give you the game. I'm trying to give you the game without giving you the game, but I'm trying to give you the game. I was raised up to believe the game is to be sold, not told. No, I'm not trying to tell nobody's tricks, but I'm trying to get these new dudes. I'm trying to get these new dudes to understand that sit like me racing ain't grudge racing, it's drag racing, and there is a difference, a big difference. Every grudge race is a drag race, but not every drag race is a grudge race. Believe that. I heard you say yesterday when they were locking in that race, if you wanted track rules or grudge rules, can you explain the difference? Absolutely. Okay. Let me tell you the big differences. In grudge rules, generally speaking, the pot is locked when you get 3 bulbs on. That's when the pot is locked, 3 bulbs. In drag racing, once you come across the burnout box, you do a burnout, you break, you lose. You just lose. In grudge racing, you lose the punk out money, but not the pot. The pot is only locked after 3 bulbs. That's number one. Number two, in drag racing, it's worst or first. If you red light, right, if the guy red lights, you should win, right? But if you cross the center line after he red lights, he still wins. He red lit and can still win with a red light. In grudge racing, it's no worse or first. Once you red light, the race is over no matter what happens. And when the win light comes on, the race is over no matter what happens. I saw a guy turn the win light on, but his wheelie bars hit the timing system, and he lost. He lost by forfeit. That's a foul. You lose. No, run what you brung. This is not a run what you brung. That's it. This is not a car show. Do you have to go pro tree on all grudges? No, that's a beautiful thing about grudge racing. You negotiate your own rules. You can say stand outside the car before you take off. You can say sit on top of the car, throw the keys away. You can say anything you want as long as the other side agrees to it. Whatever you negotiate is what you negotiate. It's all up to you. It's all up to you. All right. So quick questions, guys, and let's go. I hope I answered that question for you, Black Man 8795. I hope I answered that question for you. But the difference is no worse at first in grudge track rules, and the center line is a foul, not the outside lines, not usually. No, you don't have to go pro tree and everything. Any more questions, guys? Any more questions? Like I said, we're going to do this once or twice every week, depending on what my schedule is. But we'll spend 10 or 20 minutes doing a Q&A, and we'll have a different subject. Today's subject was grudge is. What is grudge? Grudge is drag racing with a twist. They need school for this. Well, that's just what this is. I'm going to try to do an informal schooling, and some people are going to accept it and learn, and some people are going to reject it and going to say bullshit and this, that, and that. I mean, you know what? I'm going to let the haters do what they do, hate on, but I'm going to do what I feel like I need to do. I can't keep complaining and saying, you know what, there ain't no real, a lot of these guys that's trying to supposedly grudge racing, it's talking like goddamn class races. Sit like me. If you got a small block, and if you got on 28, so if you got on 29s, if you got one carburetor, you got one system, that's all class race talk. It's not grudge race talk. Is there any change to whether there will be more racing in South Carolina? I believe at this point they are able to do private testing. They're able to do private testing, but they're not able to do public events right now. So that's what I know right now, because South Carolina Motorplex put up some private testing. So anyway, all right, guys, if you appreciate it, if you like what I said today, man, give me a like and share. If not, man, do your thing. I appreciate you anyway. It is what it is. But we'll be talking about grudge racing. And this is Smell Them Funky Ribs, the Grudge School. All right, guys, if there's no more questions, we're going to go ahead and shut it down today. And hope to see you guys. What's today? Wednesday? Hope to see you guys next Wednesday. Probably be later in the evening than this time. It'll probably be around 8 o'clock at night, around 8 o'clock at night. So anyway, man, much love. And see you guys at the starting line. Pro Sock Joe, now you know what I know.